So most economists say that the country that leads the new green economy will lead the next world economy. And New Mexico in particular is poised to help lead the United States in that revolution. The problem hasn't been that we haven't tried. The problem has been that big oil, big coal, a lot of folks continue to delay this inevitable transition that we need to undertake. So by really pushing for things like the Green Jobs Bill that I passed in the State Senate, which would really help solar and wind firms actually get their businesses off the ground and get those systems in place, that's how you start getting there. But the biggest thing we need to do is push back to some of the big corporate interests, none of whom, by the way, are supporting me in this race, shockingly. But, you know, the reason why every environmental group who has endorsed in this race, nationally and locally, has endorsed me is because I had 100% voting average with the Conservation Voters of New Mexico, and I was a leader on the environment, whether it was working with Martin Heinrich on the renewable energy strategy for the city, the water conservation strategy for the city, or whether it was passing that Green Jobs Bill. Commissioner Lujan Grisham mentioned the coalition. They are part of a very broad coalition with almost a dozen labor groups, all the conservation groups have endorsed in this race, a lot of progressive and grassroots groups. Because if we're going to make these changes, you can't make the kind of changes as an individual unless you build that coalition with environment, with labor, with social justice groups, with native groups, to really get this thing done. And that's why I'm proud that all of the conservation community is standing with me in this race. Ultimately, this is not just something that is nice and is going to protect our environment. This is an economic imperative. We will not win the next economy if we don't make a rapid transition. As a member of Congress, I'm calling for a moratorium on any new coal plants. Number two, to really to ratify the Kyoto Treaty so that we start really bringing down global emissions. And number three, that by 2014 we take the $150 billion that we gave to AIG and give the same amount, at least, to investing in renewable energy.
Right on.